So you've seen in-place records management. Now let's see how to configure the feature and set it up. Let's start by looking at the lease agreement file and see whether the in-place records declaration is available. Let's go to the compliance details, and you'll see next to record status, the item is not a record, and SharePoint tells us you cannot declare or undeclare the item as a record. We'll click Close. Now let's go to Site Settings and set up the Site Collection feature. For site settings, it's important to choose the Site Collection Administration feature called Site Collection Features. Notice there's also a setting for site features under Site Actions, but you'll want to choose the option for the whole site collection. Click on Site Collection Features, and let's scroll down to In-Place Records Management, and then click Activate. Now let's go back to our library, and we'll check the compliance details for the file. And you'll see the item is not a record yet, but I can declare it as a record. The In-Place Records Management feature has now been enabled. I'll declare this file as a record. Also, when In-Place Records Management is enabled, you'll also have an icon called Declare Record on the Files ribbon. But you can declare it as a record either through the Files ribbon or also on the compliance details. Once you've enabled the service, you can also set up more records management configurations. Once you've enabled the feature, you can also set up more settings for records management. We'll go to Site Settings, and then scroll down to Record Declaration Settings. There are a few different options, including no additional restrictions, which means records are pretty much treated like non-records. You can block deletion or block edit and delete so that no file can be changed or deleted by a user. You can also make the record declaration available in all locations or make it not available by default. There may be certain locations where you want people to not be able to declare records, or you may need the option throughout all of your company. You can also determine who's able to declare items as records. You can make this available to anyone who can edit or work with a file. You can make it only available to list administrators, or make it only available through information policy actions. You can also do the same for undeclaring records. You can make it available to anyone who can contribute or administer a list, only to list administrators, or make it only available through policy. I'll click OK. Now let's try to delete the item that we declared as a record. We'll go over to the lease agreement file, and then we'll click Delete. SharePoint now says the item cannot be deleted, moved, or renamed because it is either on hold or is a record which blocks deletion. So now we know that in-place records management has been set up for this site. You've seen how to set up the site feature and also how to set up more record declaration settings. This can be a useful feature if you want people to be able to work with the records in the same place that they're working on files.